Hi folks, Dave Hoffman, Cowboy Hiker. Waiting for the horses to come in, but they're still out in the pasture. I thought they would hear me setting up my rig, my horseshoeing tools. I thought they'd hear me setting up my rig and coming up. Anyways, one of the comments asked in a couple videos ago asked, would you speak about hoof care? And I thought that's a great idea. I don't like talk about my work that much because it's work, and you want to come home and have fun, but taking care of horses is fun. So anyways, we're gonna talk about basic hoof care stuff, and if you got any questions, comment. If you got a difference of opinion with someone else that comments, just keep it cordial. People in the barefoot thought process and people in the shoeing process can really kind of be nasty towards each other, and I don't think we should. If you want to keep your horses barefoot and you can, do it. If you want to keep shoes on your horse, do it. I am a horseshoer, so I'm gonna keep my horses shod if I'm gonna be using them. If they're just brood mares, or if I wasn't using them, if they're just pasture pony, they would just have they would just get trims every 8 weeks. My horses are on an 8-week schedule. If they're shod, which is past tense of shoeing, if they've been shod, they need to be done every 6 to 8 weeks, and that's different depending on what their needs are, how much the horse grows, stuff like that. My horses are on an 8-week schedule, but Snap has been on a 4-week schedule with her injury. So Cash is not shod yet. He will be eventually, but he's young, and I don't like to shoe him too early. I want their feet to get wide, as wide as we can. I don't want to hinder that. So a couple things. People ask, does it hurt? No, it doesn't hurt them. We work on all the tissue we work on is insensitive tissue. It doesn't have any vascular. There's no blood flow to what we work on. Sometimes when we do, like if we work on a neglect or a case that's really, really long, a horse that's really, really long, we do hit that sensitive structure, but that's better for them than to keep them too long. So anyways, and if that does hurt them a little bit, it hurts them a lot less than keeping them where they were. So if you watch Alan's channel, the farm on Route 66, with a lot of his rescues, they come with really bad feet, and Ray takes really good care of them and gets them pointed in the right direction. Well, if Mustangs don't have a farrier, then why do these domestic horses need a farrier? Well, that's apples and oranges is what we're doing there. Yes, both horses, both domestic and wild horses, are foraging herbivores. We have to remember that when we're dealing with our domestic horses, because we treat them differently because they're domestic. A wild horse travels 20 miles a day, maybe more, maybe less, but they're traveling for forage, food and water. Their hooves are taken care of because of the traveling they do. That's how their hooves are taken care of. Also, if a wild horse had any kind of issue, lameness issue, it wouldn't make it to be an adult, wouldn't get into the breeding population, and it wouldn't pass those negative qualities on to its offspring. So Mustangs have a more of a survivability gene pool, where our domestic horses have a lot of very pretty, fast things that we're breeding for that aren't survivability. So there's a bunch of differences there. Also, the way we feed our horses, we give them way more than they need usually. Our horses are a little overweight. Mustangs are a little underweight, usually depending on the rainfall that the domestic horses, we give them grain. Grain doesn't really go into the foraging, just into that diet usually, so we do some things. So where I'm getting at, I'm sorry I'm rambling, is that you can't compare a Mustang to a domestic horse. You can't. There's too many variables in there. Now, when a Mustang comes to be a domestic horse, then we've got to treat them. We can't just say, oh, well, he's a Mustang, we don't have to trim his feet. No, we have to trim their feet. He's living in a pen, maybe a nice soft pasture if they live in pasture, and their feet need to be taken care of, just like a domestic horse's feet. And when a Mustang comes to be, he's a domestic horse at that time, or she, and we got to take care of him. So anyways, we can't, well, if Mustang's this, then why do we got to do that? There's too many variables in that equation to compare them. So if you want to just keep your horse barefoot, and you say, well, do I still have to do them every 6 to 8 weeks? Not necessarily. Some horses that are barefoot can go longer than 8 weeks. But if you're not sure, don't go longer than 8 weeks. It's better to get them done every 8 weeks and then than it is to let them go too long. But I've had horses that I could go 12 weeks before I had to trim. I've done brood mares that we do twice a year, and that's it. They live, and those usually live on hundreds of acres. And sorry, there's a red-tailed hawk flying right over my barn. She's beautiful. My ADD is, she's talking to someone over there, but this one's big. Let me see if you can see her. Where are you? Dang it. I think I lost her in the sun. But if you've watched my channel very much, you know that I love birds, especially birds of prey. And I love that the hawks hang out here because well, my cat's smart enough to stay away from them, but I keep my rabbit population from getting out of hand. Anyways, we were talking about what schedule you keep your horse on. 6 to 8 weeks on shoeing, and probably don't go over 12 if you don't know. For trims, probably don't go over 12, but I do a few that we do at 10. But if you're not sure, just keep it at 8. And the ones that are at 10 or 12, they usually live on a pretty decent pasture. They do a lot of traveling, so they're doing a little bit of their own maintenance. So anyways, I hope this answers some of the questions you have about whether I should shoe my horse, keep him barefoot. The stuff that I do, I wouldn't, if you put shoes on, it takes part of that out of the equation. You don't have to worry about it. You can go to any trail you want, and you don't have to worry about the horse's feet getting torn up. Some trails are really nice, sandy, just dirt, don't have any rocks on. But if they're really rocky, your horse's feet are going to get chewed up, and we need to alleviate that by put shoes on. Anyways, if you're just going on, if you just hit a little bit of rocks, you'd be all right with barefoot horse. There's some horses, domestic horses, that their feet are so I don't want to say bad, but not good, that they live in shoes their whole life. They might have an navicular issue or even a limb issue that causes them to drag a foot or something, and they wear their toes off, and you got to have a steel shoe on just to keep their foot from wearing off. But there's a lot of variables to it, and your horse's feet whether you shoe them or keep them barefoot is up to you and your farrier. So please be nice to your farrier. If he's not nice to you, get one that is. And sometimes the vet has to come into that, depending on the situation. Dang it. My wife told me I need to get a mic to keep the wind from messing with the blowing into the microphone. I need to get like a lapel mic or something. So when the horses come up, I'm gonna go to shoeing a couple of them, and I might be able to get some pics. I'll have to set up a tripod or something because I can't hold the phone and hold my tools. So anyways, hope this has been helpful. If you've watched till this far, please, and you haven't, please like and subscribe. Cheers.